I'm Henry Cronqvist, and I'm the Dean of the Argyros College of Business and Economics at Chapman University in Southern California. And today we're very happy to be talking to Payal Vitha, who is the class of 2016.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tori Wayne. I'm the class of 2026, and I'm your Argyros College of Business and Economics Senator. And we're so happy for Payal to join us today. So, Payal, if you don't know, the Chapman campus has recently opened up a business and entertainment minor, which mixes business and film. Since you're in that industry, because you were on Netflix Indian matchmaking show, your company in itself, can you tell us a little bit about mixing what it is your business is along with films, or just getting into that industry in itself?
Hi, Tori. Yeah, of course. So my family has a history in the jewelry industry. So when Indian Matchmaking was looking for a jeweler to partner with, they reached out actually to our family business and they were like, hey, you guys have a longstanding reputation in the industry, and this is what we're looking for. So really fortunate for us, my dad looked at me and my sister, and he was like, they're looking for an engagement ring, and that's you guys. He was like, you should take it. So that day we put together a deck. We put together a whole story of who we were, our family history, how we got here, and we submitted ourselves. We didn't know, how quickly they were looking to make a decision, how many other companies they were reaching out to. But when we got that call back that, hey, your story really resonates with the storyline that we have for this season, and you two as Indian Americans, starting your own company, kind of being in that space, they basically told us it was a no-brainer, that we were the ones that they wanted to partner with, and we were very fortunate that they gave us the opportunity to be on the show, talk a little bit about what our process and how we work with our clients. And we got to highlight a little piece of our history. They filmed in our dad's store. So we got to really go full circle with that opportunity. And it was really amazing. And you can't, it was one of those things that I always tell people, that I couldn't have paid for this kind of publicity.
That's right. That's an amazing story. So, as an entrepreneur, there are certain things that I'm sure are rewarding, and there are others that are maybe a little bit more challenging and even scary as an entrepreneur. So maybe you can share a little bit about what is most rewarding and what is most scary about being an entrepreneur.
I'll start with the scariest part. I think it's the amount that you learn and you're figuring out as you go. When I started this company with my sister, I wanted to create beautiful jewelry. And I think I spend more of my time learning how to run a business than I do actually creating the jewelry. So all of those accounting classes and digital marketing and social media marketing, and figuring out like processes and strategies, all came full circle because that's the world that I now live in. So that's really the scariest part, but also I've learned so much as I've been kind of figuring it out, and the constant learning is probably the scariest, but the most rewarding part. But really the true rewarding part is like because we're so heavy on engagement rings, when someone proposes, they will always text us or send us an email with that photo, and just like that moment of like happiness of like, oh my God, she loved it, or they said yes. And I think that's really the moment that gets us. It's like, oh, we really love their love and being a part of that story. So that getting that text afterwards is really the reason why we do it. We're just like, yes, look at this, it's so cute.
That's so sweet. I really love your passion towards that, because it's super important to work in a business you're passionate about. So, how did you come within the path of Sonu Company? Did Chapman help you get internships, or what did we do for you in terms of your education, since we are speaking about learning so much about your business?
Yeah, so I was an entrepreneurship emphasis. So I was a business admin with an entrepreneurship emphasis. So I always knew that I wanted to go in that direction. And so I took a lot of classes that focused around it. We we had to come up with our own business idea and like come up with a strategy of where we would place that, how we would kind of grow that. So I think a lot of those classes, and also being a part, having a Leatherby Center, an entrepreneurship center that was supporting those goals. So I could see it all around me. I had plenty of other classmates that had their own startup that were building their vision, and to see the amount of support and help that they were getting within Chapman really helped me prepare for where I am now. I got to come back to Chapman. I got to be a part, and I got to reach out to the Leatherby Center and be a part of their first accelerator program. So the amount of resources and the amount of support that Chapman has shown me even after graduating is the reason why you go to a school like Chapman. That network is so strong.
So part of being an entrepreneur may be in sort of your DNA. You're born with it. You either have it or you don't. And in your case, that's actually literally true because of your family in the industry. Part of it is what you learn in college, and you've already talked a little bit about it. Maybe you can also expand on what you learned through the incubator that you were part of. How did that help accelerate your business, and how do they kind of work?
Yeah, so as a business that was already generating revenue, we were accepted into the accelerator program. And one of the biggest things that it allowed us to do was to take all of that, like the business plan, what our goals are now, where are we trying to go, and to relook at that now knowing what we do know, right? Like when we started and we made that business plan, yeah, we were researching, and yes, we knew about the industry, but you don't really know it until you're in it. And so we got to really re-examine everything and be like, okay, from what we thought we knew in the beginning, here's what we actually know now. And so that guidance allowed us to see, okay, these are the areas of our business that really have the opportunity to grow and to scale. And if we are going to go, pitch ourselves and raise money, how do we do that? How do you approach a conversation with an investor? What are they looking for? What are things that we need to be looking for? So the accelerator really gave us the opportunity to kind of get everything that we've done, put together a proper pitch deck, and get up in front of a room of investors and really kind of show what we had. And the response was so amazing. The amount of people that came up and were like, hey, like what you're doing is great. Like, I think you guys did a great job up there is so rewarding to see that, like, okay, people support our vision and people really truly see the potential of what we're trying to do.
That seems like a really great opportunity, and I hope people at Chapman are able to be interested in something like that because it seems like such a great kickstart. Speaking of
Yep.
Chapman students in itself, can you tell us what a law student should do, or one piece of advice that you would give a student trying to go into the work world?
Be curious. I think if you are always looking to find ways to learn something new, or just be curious. Like even if you're slightly curious, reach out to that person that might know something about it, and set up some time to get coffee, learn a little bit about what they do. Uh, you make 0% of the shots that you don't take. So I'm all about it. Even if it's like someone that you connect with for a little bit, your network is like your strongest thing that you have. So be curious, get out there and ask questions.
Definitely. Let's talk a little bit about leadership. And, now it's you and your sister. And how does that work from a leadership perspective? There's not a big team yet, but I'm sure
Yes,
you will be
yes.
very successful. So talk a little bit about that dynamics and your approach to leadership.
If you've ever worked with your family, you know that right out the gate that's very challenging. That line between sisters and business partners gets blurry sometimes. But one thing that, even if her and I disagree, one thing that we always have to remind each other is like, we have the same end goal. The goal is the same. So maybe you don't like what I'm saying, I don't like what you're saying, but it's not about I'm right or you're right. It's about figuring out like what's the right decision for Sonu Company. And so as we've grown, we've been in business for about 3 years now. So I think now we have a good stride of like, okay, I'm responsible for XYZ, she's responsible for this side of things. And obviously there's a lot of overlap, especially because it's just the two of us. But figuring out like what are the most important things for each of us to handle was a really important conversation that we had probably about a year and a half in.
That makes sense. So tell us about the future. So 5 years from now, where do you wish to be with the company?
My goal is to kind of be that go-to custom engagement ring provider for like every reality TV show there is. Right now, I'm really focused on the Netflix world of things, and we've been really fortunate. From our placement in Indian matchmaking, we've done rings for a couple on Love is Blind and The Ultimatum. So we are kind of growing, but Neil Lane, better watch out. I'm coming for The Bachelor next. But we really do want to be people's jeweler for generations, right? Like we don't want to just be there for that one moment. We want to really grow as they grow. So whether that be anniversaries or just because gifts or investing in yourself, we really want to become that go-to jeweler for generations to come.
Well, you're off to an amazing start. And so we've been very happy to talk to Payal Vitha today, class of 2016 from Chapman. And we wish you great success in the future with your venture, with your business. And again, congratulations on all your success so far.
Thank you so much. It was so great connecting with you guys as well.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us.